Hello, everybody, this is Kyrix, more Let's Play. No, I'm sorry. Hello, everybody, this is Kyrix with another edition of This Week in Kyrix. Today is Wednesday, March 1st of 2017. Yeah, I've been recording a lot of fucking Metal Gear so soon. Okay, what has happened in the world of me? It's actually been quite a week. I have started to set up plans for my, what's the word? My barbecue, of course. Big ass barbecue. Basically, gonna try and invite another one of my friends along. So, the guy who does the actual grilling has basically a 10-day vacation coming up, and lot of good shit that could potentially happen there. It gives us a nice big window to plan in. My other friend, we're going to try and line up a weekend for him where he's off work so that he too can eat grilled meats with us. Oh, that's why, because there's only 4 on each side, apparently. I did 5 on each in my private file. Yeah, I've been playing some recreational Harvest Moon, actually. Not Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley. Gee, that was a slip, wasn't it? But yeah, I've been playing this recreationally lately. So in mine, it's 5 from the Scarecrow instead of 4. So that makes a lot more sense as to why this lines up so well. But anyway, so yeah, and this time around, we're probably not going to have hamburgers unless one of my mom's roommates does help me out with it, because she offered to spot me some money for the barbecue, and I basically told her the only reason I needed it last month is because we did it so late in the month that I ran out of money for it, you know? It's like, well, if you need it, so I might see. You know, but we're doing chicken this month, and that's going to be awesome. But it has been a hectic week, because Sunday I went to visit my mother because I was out of food. So I'm like, Mom, will you please buy me a couple freezer pizzas that are dirt cheap? So she sent me up. I got some freezer pizzas. I got some Jello, so I can make Jello because Jello is a thing. What else? There was some else. There was definitely some else involved. Got some cinnamon rolls. I got 3 pizzas. 2 of them didn't last the first fucking day, so I've got 1 left. And I've still got a couple days before I can go food shopping. You know, it's not a huge ordeal. I can make it. I've still got ramen. I can probably do some errands for the roommates for a meal if I have to. But, so anyway, I go down there, and her other roommate basically gives me $20. So I'm like, okay. So I use part of that to get, you know, stacks. And the rest of it to get my library card back. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I returned the roommate's library books earlier in the week, or maybe it was last week. And I decided to check, hey, what do I owe to get my library card back? And they're like, oh, you have to clear this balance of $11.65. And I'm like, done. So I saved just enough money that I could get my library card. So I've been reading books. By the way, Obi-Wan, Star Wars book, one of the last ones before the new continuity was launched. Such a good read. Read the shit out of Obi-Wan. It is a good book. I personally and highly recommend it. So that leads me into the second day of my week, which was Monday, when I actually went up to the library. Returned more of her books. Forgot my ID and had to go back. Fortunately, the library's not that far away. But yeah, forgot my fucking books. That was fun. Or not my books, but did that. Went to check out some books, and most of what I was interested in checking out wasn't in stock. So I'm basically going to have to go back another day and get what I actually want. Which, it happens. You know, I'll probably just... Once I'm done with the 8 or 9 books that I have, which should last me a while, I gotta get back into the groove of reading. It's been a long time since I fucking marathoned some books. Plus, I've been busy with my channel. That's taken up a lot of my time. But once I get back in the groove, I will log onto their website find a fuck ton of books and just, hey, could you import these from other libraries? Because that's a thing they do. And they'll be like, hey, dude, you should come in, your books are in, and I'll go in and pick up my books. And then I'll have more Star Wars shit to read and other things. Because I love me some fucking Star Wars books. I'm sorry, I'm a nerd. It's what I do. It's my fucking oxygen. So that was Monday. Tuesday. Oh, Tuesday was a glorious day. Not for the tournament. I got my ass whooped. I went 1-3. You know, and, but the Tuesday was the release of Deadpool and X-Force, which I actually kind of like this set, I gotta admit. I didn't have high hopes for it after Joker's Wild, but Deadpool and X-Force is a good set. I wouldn't mind getting more of it, even though I almost certainly will not, because I am poor. You know? Shit happens when you're poor. What kind of shit? Not having any. That's what kind of shit. Not having shit. But yeah, that's for Deadpool. So, Judge spots me, because that's the kind of thing I do. You know, you're poor, you mooch off people. And these are my boosters. I gotta pay him back somehow. I'll figure out something. And first booster, open up, pull Dreadpool, which is a prime of Deadpool number 1, which is just, you know, normal Deadpool. Hi, Willow. A prime, for those who don't play HeroClix, which is probably all of you, you know, all 2 of you that watch this. Primes are something they came up with a couple of years back in, I believe it started in the Batman set. And what a prime is there's one for every rarity. There's a common prime, an uncommon prime, a rare prime, and a super rare prime. And how they work is you can use a prime with its double. Basically, you'll have a figure and a nearly identical sculpt. Sometimes it'll just be a different paint job, sometimes it'll have different stuff. Like the Deadpool that I have, the Dreadpool rather, is missing an arm and carrying a big-ass scythe, you know? And that's his modification. But you can play your prime with, I can play Dreadpool and Deadpool, and there's no problems with this. What I cannot do is play Dreadpool with any other prime. Primes are unique. Now, I haven't gone over this, but HeroClix has always had a system of unique, which is a figure with a silver ring around them. And uniques used to be super rares, basically. They weren't called that, but that's what they were. And over time, they stopped. We actually had super rares as a thing. So, but yeah, the super rares, that's what they used to be. And a unique works like this. You can only have one of a unique figure, period. Like, if I have unique Professor Xavier, let's say he's from, holy fuck, another X-Men, and he's unique Professor Xavier number 14. I cannot have 2 unique Professor Xavier 14s from holy fuck, it's another X-Men set, you know? That name came about solely because there are so many freaking X-Men sets, or at least it feels like that. There really aren't, but it feels like it, because some people will not stop playing X-Men. They will play nothing but X-Men. One of those people came back, and I fucking hate him. But we'll get into that another day, probably. But anyway, that was the first booster. Pulled Dreadpool, pulled a couple other good things, that's nice. Point is, primes are generally 1 per brick, that's 10 boosters, so they're fairly rare. What are you doing up there? But the real kicker... What are you doing? Are you squeaking and shit up there? But yeah, the real kicker is, like I said, they're very rare. They're practically like super rares, where there's only... or they're like chase figures almost, except not quite that rare. So open up the second booster. Bam! Super rare, Dead Girl from Ecstatics, which, by the way, I'm going to play the shit out of because they're cool. Never really followed their comics, but their figures are awesome. Dead Girl basically has a mechanic where, as long as I hit people, she's very difficult to kill. If I hit a person, she will heal every turn. If I do it 3 times, because you get a token for each time you hit someone. If I do it 3 times, then she doesn't die. She just removes all of her tokens. And to make that even better, there's a character from Ecstatics called Orphan, who is apparently their leader, and his power is he can take headline tokens, which are the things they get when they hit people, off of one Ecstatics character and put it on another one in the team. So if Dead Girl gets 4 tokens, keep in mind she only needs 3, but if she gets 4 tokens, for example, I can take them off of her and put them on someone else, which is awesome. So yeah, I go horribly. I come in like 2nd or 3rd to last, you know? Get my ass handed to me. It happens. We all have those days. And this is a big prize day. They were getting rid of a lot of old stock. So basically there were Spectacular Foes of Spider-Man. There were like 6 of those on call. Keep in mind, I never bought even one of those boosters. I missed that whole... Well, no, we had a choice on that day to draft that or Turtles, and I opted for Turtles Figs, you know. So this is my first booster. I open it up, fucking super rare. So out of 3 boosters, I pulled 2 super rares and a prime, which is effectively a super rare, you know. Even though mine was the common prime. So he's handing out a whole bunch of other stuff. We've got 2 new people. And he hands them both, what was it? Avengers Movie 2, Age of Ultron. The movie, not the set, because there was an Age of Ultron set as well. But he hands them both Age of Ultron boosters saying no one else wants those. And I'm like, well, I wanted those. And the guy's like, well, you want one? Here, take one. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna, you guys are new. I'm not taking shit from you, you know. Judge comes along with 3 Superman and the Legion of Superheroes mini boosters. They're called gravity feeds. He's like, hey, you want these? Talking to me. I'm like, yes. He's like, you play Legion, right? I'm like, yes, I play Legion. I open those, and the big thing to get out of those were the Legion founders. I pulled 2 of the 3. And the 3rd booster had Ultra Boy, who's pretty fucking good. He's not as good as the one from the main set, but Gravity Feed Ultra Boy is pretty damn good. And I don't have any Ultra Boy, so that helps a lot, you know. I needed an Ultra Boy. So yeah, that paid off. The reason the Legion founders are a big deal is because they have a trait where at the start of the game, a Legion founder gets 50 points. He basically finds a figure that's on his team that's 50 points or less, and says, yeah, this character now has the Legion of Superheroes keyword, and flies, because I'm bringing him into the Legion. So, since I have 2 of them, that is Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad, I can have 2 50-point characters that are not Legionnaires become Legionnaires and be part of a theme team, which is really useful. But more importantly, I can turn around and combine them. I can say, oh, well, I don't have a 50-point character, I have an 85-point character, so I'm going to combine Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad's points to put him in the Legion. You know, I can do that. Like, I once did a joke that if you get 7 Legion founders, you can put Darkseid in the Legion. Which is pointless and ridiculously overkill since each one of them is already 100 points. You're looking at like a fucking 1,000-point game to do that. But you could, you know. But yeah, I've got a couple figures that I really like at 50 points that would do wonders for this. Like Calculator, which I need to get. Killer Croc as well. Calculator from the Joker set, which I could probably get from someone. Someone's bound to have a double. He basically allows people to use the Batman enemy team ability from 8 squares away as though they were adjacent. What Batman enemy does is if you're adjacent to another Batman enemy who's on your team, you can share the higher of the 2 attacks. So let's say I've got, let's say Ventriloquist, and Ventriloquist has gotten his ass kicked, so he's got like an 8 attack. And he's next to Killer Croc, and Killer Croc's got an 11. Ventriloquist can use Killer Croc's 11, you know. And there are characters like Holiday Killer, who on his second click has an 11, and there are Jokers that have a 12 that I could share. Well, what's his name? Calculator allows me to do that from 8 squares away. And Legion, all the Legionnaires have the Legion of Superheroes team ability, which lets them copy that. So now, since he's in the Legion, all of my Legionnaires can do that, you know. And I can also fit Killer Croc on the team. So I have another one. And it's kind of funny because Lightning Lad actually has the highest attack of the team that I built, just for starters. He's got an 11 to everyone else's 10. But still, it's a thing. So that was Wednesday, that was Tuesday. And then afterwards, Anubis, because he didn't get to go to the Rock tournament, ended up having some extra money. He's like, hey, TGI Friday brought back endless apps, and they're keeping them this time. If you talk the judge into letting us go there after clicks, I'll spot you. So I'm like, free food for Kyrix. I'm game. And buffet food at that. So that's what we did. So I get to TGI Fridays, and I ordered the boneless wings, which I usually do. You know, I usually mix back and forth between them and mozzarella sticks. This time I only did one order of boneless because they weren't that great. They were kind of crispy, and I wasn't in the mood for crispy. And like 8 orders of mozzarella sticks, and I also tried the fried pickles, which look like moldy French fries because they're dipped in batter like a French fry, or they look like a French fry rather because they're dipped in batter. But you can see the pickles shining through, so they look green because they are green. So I'm sitting here staring at it for a minute before I finally eat, and I'm thinking, dude, it's just a pickle. It might taste weird, but it's a pickle, and it was good. It wasn't good enough that I would necessarily order more of them. I might get like 1 per trip kind of thing. But if someone ordered them like, hey, dude, you want some fried pickles? I'm like, yes. Just don't necessarily want to order myself. It's basically the endless apps are $10 each. So we get the bill, and he's sitting next to me, and I look over. The bill's $64, and they minus $44 because of the endless apps. So our meal costs like $24. And our waitress is really on top of things. She was really good. The service was not fantastic, but that's just because the kitchen was slow to cook our shit. Which, that happens, you know, that's not necessarily anyone's fault. Sometimes shit takes a while to cook. So, she was spot on. She was great. We all liked her. She did a good job. So, I'm actually still full, and it's, what, 5 o'clock? It's fucking 6 o'clock p.m. today, and I'm still full as hell from that. I might not even need to eat today. Well, I did eat something. I had some Reese cups and a cupcake. Because I went to the doctor's office today, because my aunt decided for my disability thing to try and book me with a doctor. I haven't been in close to a decade. You know. And they fucking stole my blood, because that's what they do. I don't know if you know me, or if I've put this up there, but I am cripplingly phobic of needles. I don't like them. I am a wreck when it comes time to take my blood. I don't react well. I'm a fucking baby when it comes to that. I'll admit that because it is true. This time it didn't go too bad because the woman, now they always tell me, oh, we use really little needles so you won't even feel it. Oh, this person's really good. They're really quick. And I don't doubt that they are, but they always say that. I think it's in the contract that they have to say that. It isn't, but I'm going to say it because I'm a spiteful little shit. But she actually did really good, and I didn't have a full-blown panic attack like I did last time. And that's the thing, I don't really suffer anxiety or panic attacks or shit like that unless needles are involved. Then I freak the fuck out. There's very little things that will make me freak the fuck out that are related to me. I'll worry about other people. If my pets are injured, if one of my friends is sick, I'll worry. But I don't really worry much about me. I worry for like 10-20 minutes and then I get on with my fucking day. That's just how I compartmentalize. It's how I function, you know. It may or may not be healthy, I don't know. We'll bring that up with the psychiatrist on the 14th, because I gotta do that for my disability. But yeah, they took my blood, and my aunt had to go pick up my cousin, so she couldn't take me home, and she's like, well, can you take the bus? I'm like, I can, but I really don't want to. So we stopped in Circle K, because A, she needed gas, B, I wanted a soda, and C, we needed bus fare. So she ended up, she was going to get Mom a cupcake. I'm like, can I get a cupcake? She's like, yeah. And then she needed to make a purchase to pull out money, so she got me a Reese cup. And I don't know if it was after effects of my jitters from the needle, the soda itself, or the fact that I put 2 cupcakes, 2 Reese cups, that is, 2 individuals, not 2 packs, and most of a 45-ounce soda in my stomach, which was still full of TGI Fridays, or if it was from me reading in the car, or some combination of it all, but I was horrendously, gut-wrenchingly queasy the whole ride home for the fucking hour and a half it took me to bus home. I'm like, any minute now, I'm gonna need to pull this cord, rush out, and hork in the grass, but it never happened. Even when I got let off, I'm sitting there, leaning over the grass like a hungover drunk, waiting for that signal that it's time to puke my guts out, which never happened. But, came home, gonna probably make some Jell-O in a bit, because I bought some Jell-O, because I'm like, well, ramen's a thing that's cheap, but so is Jell-O, and Jell-O's more fun to eat, even if it's probably less filling. Unfortunately, all my Jell-O is red, so I'm worried I'm gonna forget and think I'm bleeding out of my ass again. That is, again, think, not that I was bleeding out of my ass. I just ate so much strawberry Jell-O in such a short time that I started to shit red. I'm like, oh god, my ass is bleeding, what have I done? You ate a lot of Jell-O and forgot about it, dumbass, that's what you've done. Yeah, I got one more day in game. I'm like, do I stop on the 7th, or do I stop on the 8th, or the 9th? I stop on the 9th, the start of the 9th. But yeah, that's a thing. So, who knows how, well, I know a little bit of how the rest of the week's gonna go. Because Friday, thankfully I've got nothing to do tomorrow, Friday, Oreo is due for her vet visit. Because Daddy had his vet visit today. And it sucked! Because they stole my blood. I mean, I know it's necessary. And I've told him, I'm like, I was telling the doctor, I'm like, you don't understand how phobic I am, because we were sitting next to a window. I'm like, I am seriously considering whether or not I can make it out that window. And to make it out that window, I would have to kick the glass out, and I was seriously considering. I know people are like, oh, I'm serious. No, I was literally like, is it worth it to kick this window down? Could they stop me before I got away? Etc. Because I am literally that scared of needles. They scare the shit out of me. I don't do well with them. And I fucking manned up and took the needle, and it wasn't as bad. It's not something I care to repeat, even in 6 months, but I probably have to. But I survived it. I endured it. It wasn't as bad as it was last time. Last time I was literally a sobbing wreck. I literally had a fucking panic attack. That was the wrong place. It was shameful. Not the crying thing. People can cry, but the fact that something that cannot hurt me had me that fucking scared, that is shameful. A needle should not trigger my fight or flight response, okay? That's just a fact of life, that no needle, no individual needle, unless it's full of something lethal, like fucking poison coated in the AIDS virus, should scare me that badly, but it did. You know? But that's how phobias work. I mean, Mom was trying to reassure me, my aunt was trying to reassure me, the doctor is. I'm like, look, logic has no place in this discussion. It's a phobia. There's nothing you can say or do that's gonna fix this. Because I've tried everything, but it doesn't fucking work. You know, the only thing that might work is prolonged exposure to it, and I think maybe by the time I'm 40, that might be a thing. But I intend to dodge that thing like fucking Neo in the Matrix, you know? But yeah, I've got that coming. I actually have a project to work on today that has nothing to do with Let's Plays. That's right, Kyrix does other things sometimes. What thing is it this time? I'm gonna give you a berry. See how you like it. It probably does. I'm gonna give you this. Yes, eat the flowers. Eat them, Abby! But yeah, I'm working on a music video. Haven't posted one of those in like 3 years, huh? No. I'm actually working on 3 of them, but only one's gonna definitely happen right now. The other 2 are almost certain, but not quite there yet, you know? You know how it is. When you're a procrastinating piece of shit like I am. Say you're gonna do shit you never do. Full of hot air. That's Kyrix for you. He's a bastard. What happened to Digimon, Kyrix, huh? What the fuck happened? Wow, I think I hate me more than you guys do. No, seriously though, I am pretty hard on myself a lot of the times, although I give myself a lot more slack than I probably need. But, yeah, music video is probably gonna get worked on as soon as this goes up. It took me a long time to find episodes for the 2 seasons I was missing. And I'm still missing the finales, but I don't need them for the videos I have planned. And then convert them, and then do shit to get everything ready. It's a process, you know? Hey, if she's still open, how much for a chicken coop? I don't think she is, but how much? What do I need? I think I have the materials. I think I'm just missing the money. And hell, I might have the money tomorrow. I might have the money now. Fuck it. I don't, but I might. You know? You know how that works? I don't know how that works. It works, though. Oh, it's cute. They've got a fan. Hi there! I'd like you to construct some farm buildings. Why am I lagging? Ugh, 4,000 gold. That's a lot. Seriously, why all of a sudden are you fucking lagging? Huh, I can make flour and sugar. That's interesting. Oh, the mill must be new. That's why I've never seen. I'm like, something uses cloth? What other new things are there? Shed, that's new. I don't think I ever made the stable. That I've made. Okay, so 4,000. I've definitely got the materials. I just need the money, and that'll happen at the blueberry harvest. Shit happens. Shit happens, and then you wipe. That's how that works. So yeah, music videos do. Started grinding on Final Fantasy II. I'll probably resume recording it fairly soon. I still kind of want to knock Phantom Pain out of the park, but that's a bit of a ways off, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm getting at the point where the game's getting frustrating, because the game keeps up with you. It's like, oh, you're making headshots, I'm going to give everyone helmets. Well, it's getting kind of a pain in the ass. It's nothing I can't work around, but I tend to have non-lethal weapons, and when they're coming out in full metal body armor, you need lethal penetration, you know, and I don't want to lethally kill people. I don't want to kill people. I want to fucking capture them. So it's that and a couple other things that are catching up to me. And I mean, I'll get around to it eventually. But yeah, I may or may not finish Phantom Pain first, but Xenoverse, which I need to get more episodes of, like today or tomorrow. Xenoverse needs to be done. Final Fantasy II needs to be done, although I think I've got till June before that becomes a real concern. Suikoden and 2 need to be done, and then I think I'm done. Well, I gotta upload some more Undertale. I need to finish fucking Undertale. That game. Oh god, that game. I need to finish it badly. Once Undertale is done, that is just a chapter closed on a nightmare portion of my life. I mean, I know I talk bad about it. It's the Genocide run. But the Genocide run's designed to be a piece of shit, you know? It's designed to make you feel horrible and to make you rage quit. And, I haven't... It's not that I've rage quit this time. It's that the last few times I tried to record it was laggy as fuck, and you can't really afford to lag in that last boss, you know? So I may have to put a video like, this is on indefinite hiatus because the game won't stop lagging for me to beat the boss. I hope it won't come to that, but if it does, it does. You know, shit happens. Now, that being said... And that being said, once those are done, I'm free to work on other shit. Like, once Phantom Pain is done, for sure, I'm gonna take a break from Metal Gear. Although I am kind of looking forward to the other ones. Like, I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden I'm really hyped about Metal Gear Solid 1. There's no real reason for it, but I'm really excited for it all of a sudden. And on top of that, there's Sons of Liberty, you know. I'm slightly pumped, I guess, for Metal Gear 1 and 2. I'm probably going to print up walkthroughs for those at the library just so I can have my phone open for the timer and still have the computer going and have all that shit, but I don't know yet. Oh, this is a thing. Gimme. But yeah, I'm rapidly approaching the part where I think I will have all of 2018 done in 2017, and that is really cool. Hi, Hottie. I mean, Haley. But, yeah, once... If I get all my 2018 stuff done before 2018 starts, if I've got all that done... And, to be fair, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm already, with Phantom Pain, I'm stretching into 2019. I actually need to make a 2019 schedule because of Phantom Pain. I mean, I need to make one eventually, but I need one now because of Phantom Pain. And once Phantom Pain gets up and running, it's gonna be a thing. I mean, once it's done, once 2018 is done, if I get it done before 2018 starts, then I will have all the time in the world to pursue old projects. I'll work on Ni no Kuni. I'll get Enslaved done. I'll finish Last of Us. I might start on Walking Dead Season 3, because it might all be out by then, you know. And possibly most importantly, I will get, shit, not that. Yeah, most importantly, I will get, like, all those old files done. I'll get Last of Us, I'll get Ni no Kuni. I'll do Infamous, which I meant to do, like, years ago. Get all the stuff that I've been delaying on for one reason or another. And get Star Ocean done. And hopefully I'll go into 2019 with 2019 stuff done. You know, that's the plan from here on out, is if I can be 2 years ahead of what year I'm in, then I'm golden. More importantly, if I can get that far ahead, I will start adding shit to Patreon scheduler and start announcing Patreon in my videos and all that. Maybe putting it in the description, or maybe just making frequent videos like, hey, I've got a Patreon, please check it out. And all that, so I can hopefully earn some side cash on this. Because to say I'm strapped for cash is an understatement, and I'm really torn, because on the one hand, to me, it feels like I'm begging for money, but on the other hand, it feels like I'm asking for something that I'm delivering, you know, for a thing that I'm creating. But on the other hand, again, I've got 3 hands apparently, this is something that I'm putting out for free and expect people to pay for. So what the shit? It's just there's really no good answer to it. And I feel like shit for even honestly, if I were back at the apartment, you know, and my roommate had a job and we had our 3 incomes and everything was good, or if I had a job and thus had that extra income that I need, Patreon would never even for an instant cross my mind. You know, it would not occur to me to ask for money, because why would I need money? I have everything I need. I'm happy to put this shit out for free. But my pets aren't going to feed themselves. And my rent looks to be going up, which means that I have to basically borrow money for pet food. You know, I can't let my girls starve. And I can't exactly get rid of them either. The only other thing I can do is cancel their insurance, which that's not an option either. Even if I canceled my phone, which I cannot do because then I am unreachable. You know, because we don't have a house phone. And people shouldn't have to call either of my roommates to get a hold of me, and that would get real old real fucking fast. But even if I were to cancel Gamefly, that's not enough to feed both pets. Like, if I need dog food and cat food in the same month, it's just not going to cut it. You know? So even if I were to cut all my extraneous shit, it wouldn't help. It's just a rough thing. It sucks being poor. And yet people continue to try and paint poor people as the enemy. Like, oh, he's taking so much money. I'm like, do you fucking know? Do you know what you're saying? When I was talking to my friend, I used Trump as an example because he's allegedly a billionaire. He won't show us his taxes, so we don't know. But I'm going to take it on good faith that he's a billionaire because even if he's not, he has been one. He could pay me. I'm not suggesting for a moment that he would or even should do this. This is a hypothetical. This is an explanation. He could pay me my yearly income, which is about, let's round up to $10,000 because it's less than $10,000. But let's round up and say exactly $10,000. He could pay me my yearly income daily out of his fucking pocket and never know that month. Or no, not daily, but monthly. He could pay that shit monthly and never fucking know it was missing. He could pay my monthly, which is $7.54, daily to me and never miss it. Out of his pocket. I don't make a lot, you know? I mean, if I'm sitting here and I'm making the equivalent of minimum wage, you know, like, oh, I'm making $20,000 a year, ha, 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 yeah, by all means get up my ass, because I'm an asshole. I'm earning money that I didn't earn kind of thing, but no. I'm making money that it's impossible to survive on. If I were living alone, I would be homeless. Let's take everything out of the equation. Let's say I have no phone. Let's say there's no Gamefly. There's no pets. So I don't need pet food. I don't need pet insurance. All I gotta do is my house bills. I can't pay rent. I don't make enough to fucking pay rent, you know? The cheapest place I found, I couldn't afford. So I am forced to live with people. But that's not important right now. We're at the end of this, so thank you for joining me and listening to me both cheer and bitch, and for listening to the trauma of what they stole my fucking blood. That's serious. I'm not trying to give the doctors a hard time, but I'm also not exaggerating about the trauma. Getting blood work done for me is traumatic. Like, my aunt happened to notice, like, oh, you're shaking. I'm like, yes, I'm shaking. You thought I was kidding when I said this was traumatizing for me? No, it's traumatic as hell. Anyway, bye-bye, everybody!